Hey everyone, so my postpartum hair loss unfortunately has begun, and I kind of had a feeling a couple weeks ago I was going to start losing my hair. And maybe like 2 or 3 days ago I got in the shower and I was literally pulling out handfuls of hair, and when I got out of the shower I had to like take the hair out of my toes, all the hair that had fallen out, and it looked like a big dead mouse in the shower. So anyways, I thought I would share with you guys some of my survival tips if you haven't already chopped off all your hair. And I totally understand how people end up with mom hair, you know, just like a shortcut, because you end up losing so much hair. And I have to say, not everyone loses a lot of hair after having a baby. I didn't lose a lot of hair with my first. I lost the most with my second son. I don't know if you lose more depending on if it was a girl or boy. I think it just kind of depends on you and your baby and what happened that time. So anyways, my son is now 12 weeks old, and I want to say with all of my kids, my hair started falling out between 3 and 5 months. I am no expert in this. I am just sharing my experience. You know, when you're pregnant, they say you get really thick, full hair. That's because your hair is always in like the birth stage, when it's like starting to grow. You know, it's growing, or it's in the dead stage. And I heard that while you're pregnant, your hair doesn't go to the dead stage a lot, and that's why you don't lose a lot of hair while you're pregnant, thus having fuller, thicker hair. And so once you've had the baby and your hormones like start, you know, neutralizing and stuff, then your hair starts going to the dead stage and starts falling out. I don't know if that's true or not, but it kind of makes sense. So anyways, with my, which kid was it? It must have been like the last kid or the kid before. Okay, I already have a huge forehead, but I swear my hairline went back even like another inch or two because I lost so much hair, and my hair right around my hairline got so thin. So I wanted to share with you guys some tips. I knew that my hair was gonna fall out because before it starts falling out, it gets kind of like itchy and almost flaky, like you got a sunburn like in your hair. And mine started getting itchy like 2 weeks ago, and I do have alopecia too, so I am a little more familiar with when my hair is falling out and how it feels and stuff like that. But anyways, you will start noticing hair everywhere. And if you don't notice, your husband's gonna notice, or your kid's gonna notice, because there'll be hair in the sink, there'll be hair on the carpet, there'll be hair on the floor, there'll be hair everywhere. And especially, like, I have super long hair, so my hair is everywhere. And I want to say it was with my last kid, when my hair started falling out, I had to give my vacuum cleaner haircuts because all the hair that it was picking up would get stuck and clumpy in there. I know, it's totally disgusting. So anyways, I wanted to share with you some of my survival tips, because I know that you will be very tempted to just chop all your hair off, which to me isn't the worst idea. But if you want to keep your hair long and you want to survive through the hair loss until it starts growing back, this is what I do. Number one, I do tie up my hair a lot more than I normally do. I usually leave my hair down, but when my hair starts falling out a lot, I start tying it up in a ponytail or a bun, because then that way you're kind of controlling where and how it falls. That way it's like mostly coming out when you're taking a shower, or when you let your hair down, you brush it, then you can kind of control where it all falls. Whereas if you leave it down like this, it's just kind of flying everywhere. So I would say tie it up in a bun or a ponytail. And I don't know if this happens to other people, but my hair also starts getting super dry when it starts falling out too. So usually when I tie it up, I'll put some leave-in conditioner or some you know, macadamia oil or whatever, especially on the ends before I put it in a bun, and I'll just kind of keep it up like that. Invest in some hair catchers. If you don't already have the hair catcher drain thing in your shower, you might want to invest in it, because you're going to have a lot of hair going down the drain, which leads me to my second point. After my second kid, I was at Bed Bath & Beyond and I saw the turbo snake, and I was looking for it so I could show you guys, and I don't know what I did with it. It's basically a wire, and it looks like a mascara wand on the end, and you just shove it down your drain as far as you can shove it down, and then you just like pull it up, and it is disgusting but like kind of fun at the same time. you will pull out gobs of hair. I mean, even if you don't have postpartum hair loss, I would just get this for your drains, because I do it every time like I'm washing the bathtub or the sinks and stuff like that, and it's like disgusting, but it's like kind of satisfying watching these gobs of hair. I want to say I did a video of it a long time ago of me pulling out one of these big wads of hair out of the shower stall. But anyways, if you are losing lots of hair, or just for cleanliness, or just out of curiosity, if you like that kind of stuff, I got mine at Bed Bath & Beyond, and I got 2 of them. I want to say it was like $10 or something like that, which is totally worth it. And I remember asking the guy there, like, what if this doesn't work? And he's like, you can bring it back. So that's the great thing. If it doesn't work, you can bring it back, but it does work, and you will be amazed, especially if you have like slow running water. Invest in this. So much better than Drano. If you're like me and your hairline starts going back, not only did my hair get really thin, but I started getting like little sprouts, you know, like the baby's hairs when they're growing back, a lot of them here, and I would always have all these little sprouts right here. So after each kid, I ended up cutting bangs. And that's just a good way to hide the thinning and kind of cover up all that thinning stuff. I mean, with me, I had to pull my bangs from like way back here. But any sort of bangs, which kind of makes me sad because I finally, after like 10 years, am growing out my bangs, but I might have to cut them again if it starts getting thin. I have cut side bangs and then full on bangs with each kid. Like, you can kind of tell when my hair started falling out, because when I look back through pictures, all of a sudden I have bangs. So those are just a couple of my survival tips. The best thing is just patience. I want to say with all the kids, I saw the most hair loss around 5 months postpartum. And then, you know, I started seeing regrowth between like 8 and 9 months, and then my hair started growing back. And mine did get quite thin, but it did grow back. I know a lot of people say that their hair does get thinner just overall after having kids. Their hair just isn't as thick as it was before. But you know, if you're like me and you have long hair and you do want to keep it, it does grow back. There are ways to survive. It might drive your family and spouse crazy finding hair everywhere. So especially when you're at home, maybe just keep your hair tied up or in a bun. And especially in the shower. You know, with me, with the other kids, I remember my husband, he would step into the shower and be like, oh my gosh, because there would be hair everywhere. Like, and I think it totally grossed him out, and probably scared him half of the time too, because he probably thought there was a dead animal in there. Anyways, those are my survival tips for postpartum hair loss. So if you have any tips for me, please share them with me. If you're postpartum, or if you have any advice, and we can survive this together. So anyways, I hope you guys are all doing well, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.